All right, we are moving to St. Denis, which is part of Normandy, France today. And this first picture is Psalm 57 front cover from the Psalter Charles the Bald. This is an ivory panel set with silver gilt and filigree work. The carving is very three-dimensional. This is the Abbey of Saint Ricoeur in Saint-Tula, France in 790 to 799. It's an engraving, which is a printmaking technique. This was an engraving at 1612, and this was made after the lost 11th century manuscript illumination. So they remade it as a printmaking technique to save it. There's the drawing of the monastery. Okay, we're moving on to Lorsch, Germany. This is Christ blessing Otto II and Theophanu. This again is ivory. Here is Otto presenting Magdeburg Cathedral to Christ. Again, this is an ivory piece, 5 inches. All right, this is in Lorsch, Germany. It is the Torhall Gatehouse. There was the gate part. This is from the side. All right, this also is Christ Enthroned. It is an illuminated manuscript from Folio 3 Recto of the, can't speak German at all, Gotschko Lectionary 781 to 783. It's ink and gold on vellum. And this is the westwork of the Abbey in the church in Corvey, Germany. This is the Church of Saint Cyricus. You'll notice this style coming up in our next chapter, very similar to what you're going to see in chapter 12. It's the nave of the church. It says 961 to 963. There is the Abbey Church San Pantaleon in Cologne, Germany. All right, this is early medieval art, Ottonian. They had biblical themes. This is a church. This is stylized and conceptual things, and it's expressive exaggeration. This is their basilica. There is the drawing and the plan, section and plan for that. And then there is the actual basilica. There are towers at both ends. It has an alternate support system. It's a modular plan based on cross or crossing. There are 2 transepts. The architecture bridges the gaps between Carolingian and the superficially simplicity of the Romanesque style, which is chapter 12. So you see the 2 crossings that we're talking about. So there's actually a cross at the front and a cross at the back. This is the Abbey Church. And the ceiling is really, really lovely, isn't it? Here are the door relief panels on Book of Genesis. This is really an important door that you're going to see again if you take Art History 2. The left door is the Life of Christ, commissioned by Bishop Bernward for St. Michael, and the right side is the Book of Genesis. There was impact of Roman influence on this, inspired by early Christian doors. There's a diagram of what each panel means. Here is close-up. This is the bottom. There's Adam and Eve. It has a story of the original sin. There's emphasis on typography on the left. There's relatively high relief. There's expressive exaggeration. The figures maintain the tradition of Byzantine and Carolingian styles. It has a Romanesque aesthetic. This is a column showing something really similar, illustrating the life of Christ in Germany also. There's what it looks like. So you see the registers as it goes up the columns. Not the first time you've seen columns do this. It's the first time you see it at 1015 in Germany. This crucifix is commissioned by Archbishop Gerald for the Cologne Cathedral in Germany. There's close up, and you see that it's wood. You can see the gemstones. All right, this is early medieval Ottoman art. Represents Slovenia, Germania, Gallia, and Roma. There is Theodore's hymnline from the Mosaic of San Vital. There is something really similar in the Ottoman art there. So you can see that it's definitely being influenced both by Carolingian style and Byzantine style. Otto III is sold with his imperial dress, with his crown, his eagle scepter, cross inscribed, surrounded by representation just like in Byzantine art. There's a close-up picture of it. It's tempera on vellum. There's the Magi. Okay, remember all the red illuminations we saw earlier? So I said you weren't going to see anything similar to it, but here we have red color around the outside from Germany. The territories was Germany and northern Italy, and they're from the Carolingians. They have the advantageous marriage that allows Otto II to claim title to the Holy Roman Empire. This is Abbess Uta dictating her codex to the Virgin. This also is Germany. Looks very decorative, very similar again to a lot of the Carolingian pieces that we saw. This is the Annunciation to the shepherds. All right, and this one reminds me a lot of Italian art at the time, Roman art at the time. Notice the realistic look to the body, the folds of the cloth, the shepherds, definitely influencing by them. Comparison, this one of Jesus washing his feet of St. Peter, they do look three-dimensional, but they don't look nearly as realistic as they do within this piece. And that would be it, ladies and gentlemen.